welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Sharon, aka the Melanin Nostalgic Runner. And today this is a Seeing Things Differently series, my review of my mini vacation, and unfortunately a little bit of life updates I have going on. I thought I have a previous video that will be probably airing on Sunday. Or aired on Sunday. I have a previous video that aired on Sunday okay, for those who don't know, let me reveal how I do a lot of these videos. I film a lot of videos in one day. That's how I get through doing most of my content. I film a lot of videos in one day. So sometimes I don't know when videos are coming out for that reason, because I film multiple videos in one day and then I edit them all kind of within the same time frame. Not the same day necessarily, but like I try to edit all the videos similar to how I film all the videos in one day. I'll choose another day to edit them all, and then I schedule my videos out. A little bit of a YouTube tip of how I do this, but still have a full-time job, and also have a life, and also run and do all the things I do. So it's not as hectic of a schedule as it comes off as. I make it where the schedule works for me. Okay, so I just kind of wanted to get that out the way, because a lot of times I'll say something as far as when the video will be out and that may not be completely accurate. That's why. But anyway, oh, you notice, look at this. I'm holding it in a little bit, but things are starting to actually come together. This was starting to look a little rough. So I think my motivation content is helping a lot. But anyway, this is not why we're here. Let's get into how things went. And then I'll go into some of the updates of what I have going on, and why instead of I was debating whether I was going to wait to state what was going on with me versus, try to just hold off until later. And I think this video actually might help. So I think I'm going to just say it, get out the way. That way I can really just move forward. Okay, let's get to the original video. So the original video that I was going to be doing today was going to be basically a review of what I did on my vacation, how did it go, and what I'm doing. So, okay, I left Chicago early Thursday, early-ish, because whenever you go east, for those who don't know, Chicago's on Central Time, so we're not on Eastern Time. And I don't know if everyone knows that. So we're an hour behind Eastern Time Zone. So whenever I go east anytime, so even when I go back to my hometown, because that's east-ish, still in the Midwest, but it's east of the border of like the time zones, I lose an hour. So I wasn't taking that under consideration originally when I told my friend that I was going to meet her at a certain time, because we were going to try to do lunch, and we still kind of did lunch, fast forward, but not quite originally as planned, because it took me a while to get out. And this is one thing I need to learn. I still haven't quite figured it out yet. With me having pets, it's like kind of a prequel. A very, very, very minimal prequel, because I'm not going to discredit mothers and fathers out there at all, of what it's like to have kids. It's a very small prequel. So whenever I'm thinking I'm getting out the door at a certain time, I'm never getting out the door at the time that I originally think. It never works out that way for me. And it really hasn't ever since I gotten pets. So unfortunately, it's been bothering me. It's something I just had to say out loud because I'm trying to fix it. I used to be someone who was either early or on time. Every once in a blue moon, I would be kind of late, but it was never late. And lately, I've been on time or late. it ain't never early anymore, and it's been annoying me. It doesn't annoy anyone else, I don't think. I don't know, because I used to be the one who was actually the opposite, where I was annoying. I was annoying where I would show up places before everyone else did, and that used to kind of annoy people. So I guess it depends on your culture, how you feel about that, how you view that. But anyway, I just feel like I had to say that. But long story less long, because of that, whenever I go on vacation or plan on leaving to go on vacation at a certain time, I am learning I need to just subtract another hour, wake up even an hour earlier than what I'm thinking, because otherwise I'm just not going to get out the door on time. It's been a thing. The only time where that's not been as much of an issue is when it's a race. So maybe if I treat my vacations like it's a race, maybe I'll get there on time. I don't know. For whatever reason, running races, I have this over paranoia of not starting a race on time. So I don't do that when it comes to races. But with vacations, it's like I'm a little relaxed. Let me know if any of y'all are like that. I don't know. It's just been a new thing really since I've had pets, because it just wasn't a thing before. I've only had pets since 2020. But anyway, so I left here probably, I think I want to say around 9 a.m. Yeah. Yeah, it was around 9 a.m. This is about when I left. 8:30, 9 a.m. And that's kind of important because, I left around 8 something. But anyway, the hour loss, right? And it takes from where I was going, I basically was going to a Detroit suburb. It's a far Detroit suburb, but it's Detroit metro area. So where I ended up going is a village, because I don't know if they do this everywhere, but in Michigan, there are suburbs, they call them villages, like the suburb cities. Unless they're like a little bit of a larger suburb city, they'll call it a village of something. So anyway, I was at my friend's village of something that is a Detroit suburb. It's northwest of Detroit for the weekend. So I met her there. I finally got to meet her daughter. I'm not gonna say her daughter's name because, privacy and all that. But oh my gosh, so cute. So cute, so cute, so cute, so cute, so cute, so cute. And so that was so I was very happy about that. That was actually one of the main purposes why I wanted to go to see her, because I haven't seen her since, I haven't seen her daughter at all, but I haven't seen my best friend since last year when I went to her baby shower. So that's the baby now, the baby's here. And so, and best friend background story. So I've known this best friend of mine since high school. So this is my ace boom coon. This is my girl. She's a homie. That's it. That's all. Anyway, so I was there enjoying finally meeting her. And then we ended up, just running some errands. I was able to relax for a little bit. But then her friend, her husband's friend, he was throwing a surprise birthday party for his wife. But so she's also cool with once you're married or when you're booed up, you have other couples you hang out with, kind of that thing. But anyway, so the husband was basically decided to throw this surprise birthday party at a restaurant. But the caveat is, this husband's out of town. So he did it all through the phone. And he kind of scrambled and did it kind of like within 48 hours, if that. It was probably less than 48 hours. Because they were originally supposed to meet in another restaurant. They ended up meeting in another restaurant. And by the way, this village is not that big of a village. So there isn't really that many restaurants, side note. But so it's still within the same village. And sorry if I'm sniffling. My allergies are a nightmare. I'm actually out of my eye drops for my allergies. My pharmacy has the medication or has my eye drops. Because if not, I'm gonna have to deal with this until Monday. That's the kind of week I've been having, but we're getting to have ourselves with that. Anyway, so next, so we end up getting ready to go to this event. I don't know anyone at this event. I'm literally the plus one. Because also the caveat is my best friend's husband's also out of town. All the men's, okay, because this village is a small village. It's like a lake town village. It's so cute, so quaint, love it. They're giving housewives of this village. I'm not even kidding. They were like, I feel like I was in like a housewives reality show in the best way possible. Not in like a toxic way, more in the fun, you know, cute way, you know, minus the drama. There's no drama here. So it was one of those. But anyway, because if you're in this lake town, you're doing all right. Typically, you're no brokey. There's no brokies in this lake town. Let's just say it. Let's just keep it cute. So you're doing all right in this lake town if you live here. Because anyone who knows, typically buying a lake house is not going to be cheap. It just isn't. You know, spoiler alert, just in case someone wasn't aware. Typically, oh my gosh, what is this? We're fixing it. We're working on it. Oh my gosh. Okay, I'm not going to call my imperfections right now. Anyway, sorry. Okay, so I'm getting so distracted lately. But anyway, so they're giving housewives of this lake town. So we're there. But all the men's, okay, this is why I brought it up. So all the men's are actually out of town on like this golf trip. And the guys, and I love her husband, by the way. I love my best friend's husband down. He is like, they're perfect together. And when I met him, I met him actually before they even started dating, because they've known each other for a little bit before they even started dating. And I'm like, I like him. He's cool. He's chill. But anyway, so they're out of town they're out of town doing this golf trip, basically probably being like, they're giving probably the hangover. Because one thing that both of my friends, so both of them can do well is turn up. They know how to turn up. They're a fun time. They're a good time in the best way possible, in a very wholesome way. It isn't, we're not going in the ways of not fun. But anyway, so they're out of town on this golf trip, and that includes the husband who's throwing the surprise thing. And so we show up and we're just like, we didn't know anyone else there. So that was the other thing. I really don't know anyone there because I've never met anyone there ever. And my best friend, and also let's give my best friend a name. We'll call her, for privacy purposes, we will call her, since we're talking housewives, we'll give her a housewife name. We will call her, I'm thinking of my favorite housewife right now. I'm trying to think of a favorite housewife. That's not too controversial. Light, fun, shade housewife. That's fun. That's appropriate for the type of housewife I see her as. So I'm trying to think it through right now in this video. Because she's giving, my best friend, she's giving Real Housewives of OC, or like, because I watch all of them, or like Beverly Hills. No, she's not pretentious at all, not even close. And most of the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills aren't really pretentious. It's just awesomeness. Or even Salt Lake City, but I don't really love any of the people from Salt Lake City like that, other than Mary Cosby. And she's not Mary Cosby. My best friend ain't that. And the New York is not giving as much as what I thought it was going to give, so I don't really want to give her any of those people. I'm trying to give that one a chance though, so we'll continue on watching that. Potomac, that's toxic. Atlanta used to not be toxic, so let's give Atlanta. And let's pretend she's melanin. My best friend's not. She's not at all. So that's why I was trying to think of a non-black housewife show, but she really doesn't fit any of those other ones other than probably like the best times of Atlanta. So I'm gonna pretend, reverse, and I'm gonna pretend who's my favorite housewife? That knows how to turn up, have a good time, isn't too much drama, light, fun shade. And not the recent years of Atlanta. I'm kind of limiting my my deal. I'm gonna have to think of that. Pause. I got it. So it's a toxic. Potomac is toxic. It's been toxic lately, but it used to be really, really fun, light, fun shade. And the only person I could think of that throws light, fun shade and it's just a good time, Karen Huger. She's giving me Karen Huger. Okay, yeah. So we're gonna call her Karen. And I feel bad that I'm calling her Karen. I don't want to call her Karen. Oh my gosh, no. Abort. I did not do the correlation until after I said it, but she does give me Karen Huger energy though. That's the funny thing about it. She's so much fun and quick. She's witty. And if she sees this video, she's gonna crack up because there's so much layers. Okay, who is like a Karen Huger who's like, oh, okay, so remove the toxicity of Lisa Vanderpump. We'll call her Lisa. There we go. I like it. We'll just call her Lisa for like Lisa Vanderpump. Because I did love watching Lisa Vanderpump during the older seasons of Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. But she can get the party started. And my best friend's not fat, so Lisa. We'll call her Lisa. And also, it works because my best friend's name starts with the L, and I almost did slip up a couple times to say her actual real name. So, Lisa. Okay. Anyway, back to the story. So, Lisa, I don't even know where I was going with that. I did all that and forgot where I was going. Oh, so Lisa doesn't know any of the people there. She doesn't know any of the people there other than like a handful of people through meeting like once or twice. She really only knows the person whose surprise it is. And she knows the sister-in-laws of the person whose surprise it is. And the person whose surprise it is, apparently she's kind of that girl in the area. Like she's like deals with Chamber of Commerce. She's her. And so I'm like, oh my gosh, this is really giving Housewives, but in the best way possible. Because I'm like, okay, so I'm hanging out with some bosses. Love it. I don't care what you are for that. Like, I love hanging out with people who are inspired or inspirational, can get it done. She's a mother also. So you're doing both. You're trying to balance it out. I love it. And everyone's my age because we like, my friend Lisa and I, we were in the same class and everything together. Like, we actually, let's go back a little bit. Let me take you back. So Lisa and I in high school we didn't really hang out with each other. I hung out with her best friend more. And it was kind of funny. So I became friends with her best friend and became kind of good friends with her because I had a lot of classes with her best friend. And she was known to have she really didn't talk to other people other than her best friend, really, Lisa. And I was kind of the same way. I didn't really talk to other people like I talked to more people. I was probably more of like the person who talked to more people, but I had a best friend who I was like attached to by the hip too. Like both of us had the best friends are attached to the hip, but I was kind of like the melanated version of that. Like we both had our best friends, and both of us are melanated, and then Lisa and her friend, they're not, and so it was a whole thing. And we didn't really become really, really close until like senior year of high school, because we were in the same class together. And then when we were in the same class together and we were in the project together, we realized, oh my gosh, I like you. And so fast forward, we ended up getting a summer job together. Not trying to, it just happened to work out that way. I already had the job, but she was in town for the summer because she went away to college, and I stayed in my town for college. So we had the same summer job, and that's when we got reconnected. And then after that, it was on. We became best friends from then on. And we actually went and saw my best friend from high school, my other best friend from high school, down to her college, Lisa and I. But ironically, Lisa and I were just closer. But I think it has to do with the fact that when it came to almost everyone else in my high school, everyone else settled down or had kids and stuff like that. And Lisa and I were like kind of ones that didn't do that right away. Lisa clearly has now, but I mean, it's different now. You know, I'm in my, I'm older, so it's. But if you're in your 20s and you're already doing that, it's kind of like you don't really have much in common with the people that you are hanging out with, right? Right, because their priorities are different. And in your 20s, that's usually a time where you're like, don't stop, puppet, don't stop, work. That's usually that kind of time. But anyway, so that's how we became cool and have been like ace boon coons ever since, and have made it a point to always see each other. We see each other pre-world changing. We would see each other at least once a year. At least. It was a very minimum. We would plan it out, especially once both of us moved out of our hometown. We would plan out where we would be in our hometown at the same time, so we could like connect and hang out and stuff like that, because our hometown's actually kind of a central location. But to get to each other's places is a lot farther. So that gives you a little bit of an idea, because we're both from Indiana. Anyway, so back to the story. So we're at this event. We don't really know anyone. I'm just kind of like, I'm the best friend. I'm the plus one. And it was such a good time. We went to this place. It was like a Latin fusion place. So margaritas, they were yummy. So, and I don't do margaritas often. I think that was like my first margarita this year. That tells you how often I do margaritas. I don't typically do margaritas unless I'm out with others. Like it's not my first choice of drinks, but like if I'm at some place where that's what we're going to be doing. Once we were there, I met the best friend. She was cool. I mean, not the best friend. I met the woman of the hour whose birthday it was. She was truly surprised, also truly lit. Liddy, because they went to another restaurant a couple blocks before to go to that one. And I guess she's been having a rough time, new mom, trying to balance her career and being a mom. And it was just all super relatable stuff. I was just like, oh my gosh, this is seriously giving Housewives in the best way possible. So yeah, having a good time, basically just chilling, relaxing, vibing. So that was night one. Night two was Lisa had a wedding she was going to. And I already knew this before I took the vacation to see her. But this was like the best weekend to actually see each other, believe it or not, because the other weekend she's going to be either out of town or she's not going to have any availability. So, and as adults, we be knowing this. Like, you just got to take what availabilities you have and just do it, or else you're just not going to do it. And in this case, I needed to do this. I needed to see her because I haven't seen her in over a year and I missed her. And also too, Michigan, I have a lot of family. So I wanted to go and see some family there too. So that day, so while she went to the wedding, which was perfect, I ended up going to see my nephew, and I hung out with him and another village, but a fun village. This was actually a village where Lisa and I used to have a time in this village because she used to live outside of this village back in our 20s, early 20s. Stop playing it. It was a good time. So I'm not gonna lie, when I met my nephew, I was going down memory lane. As I was walking through the downtown, I was like, man, oh man. I'm glad I'm older and wiser, because I used to turn up this town. But anyway, so we ended up hanging out, we got drinks, and side note, for those who don't realize, I think I mentioned in one of my other reviews that my nephew is an adult. Like, I'm actually closer, okay. So my sister is 11 years older than me, and I am 10 years older than my nephew. So I'm actually closer to age with my nephew than I am with my sister. So that explains how we're getting drinks, okay? For those who are wondering. The math is mathing. I promise you the math is mathing. You maybe could do some math to figure out, I think I've mentioned in one of my videos how old I am, but I'm not gonna keep saying how old I am. But y'all can figure that out on your own. Fight with your mom in the comments on that. But anyway, so we hung out, and then after that, then I went back. I was just tired. I think it's because, full transparency, I don't drive long. I don't do long drives anymore. The longest drive I do is to drive back home, which is only about 3 hours and some change. Anything more than that, I don't really like doing anymore. I'll do it, but it's not something I do regularly at all. So after I hung out with my nephew, I went and got some Thai food and went back to my best friend's house. She wasn't there, but we already talked about it way before. She was like, girl, you can stay here. I don't care if I'm here or not. Like, you can just stay here. I'm like, all right. So I got back into the place. Like, she gave me her code or whatever for the garage. And so I got back in. It was fine. And then I just watched, so those who don't realize, I'm a nerd. And one of my favorite things is Mortal Kombat Canvas. So the new Mortal Kombat game came out, right? And now I'm really gonna hold out for getting the game because I found out that the Nintendo Switch version of the game is not good. Spoiler. So I'm gonna wait till they fix how that looks because it doesn't look as cinematic or as good as like the PlayStation or Xbox version of the game. So I'm not sure if I'm ever gonna get the game. Just a spoiler. I might just see if one of my friends have it and just play it at their place. But anyway, so the way the newer games are, they make the story mode like a movie. So I literally sat there and watched the whole entire movie of this story mode, and it was like 4.5 hours long. It was a long story mode. So good. But I did that and went to sleep. When I tell you I'm kind of boring these days, I'm kind of boring. I am. It's okay. I am. But, I kind of got way ahead. So both mornings, so both Saturday and Sunday morning, because I got there Friday. So both Saturday and Sunday morning, I did run with her dog. She has a dog. Cutest dog ever. Cutest dog ever. Just a cute dog. Cute dog. Yeah. But anyway, so I ended up running with her dog on both days before I got the day started. So I was still working out while I was like gone. Just in case y'all were wondering, it wasn't a complete lazy trip, but I think, and I always forget this, when I don't realize until I'm not in town and I'm not in my bed, I don't sleep as well as I used to. So when I go out of town, I sleep like a baby. I be out like a light. And it used to not be that way. It used to be the opposite. When I would go out of town, I had issues like going to sleep properly because I would sleep so well at home. Now the opposite problem, which also can explain part of the weight gain. When you don't sleep well, it impacts your weight clearly. So I also can explain that. But anyway, I was out like a light. Out like a light. It was crazy. So from there, I did, so after I went to sleep, I went to sleep super early, by the way, because, oh gosh, I keep hopping around and I apologize for that. But so I forgot to even mention night one when I was there, aka night zero typically for a vacation, but for me it was actually night one because we just went right into it. After we came from like the restaurant and got our drink on, we didn't do too much. We didn't do a lot of drinking because she drove and, you know, we're not doing all that. We're adults here. But once we got back to her place, we had some wine, we got to relax, we got to have a good time, but we were up so late catching up because, I mean, I haven't seen her in over a year. We were up so late. We didn't go to sleep till like 1:30 that morning, which for me is only 12:30, but that's still late for me. I don't stay up late, like at all. Even on the weekends, I go to bed early. I love sleep, okay? More than I like staying up late. I'm a day drinker if I do drink. I don't like to drink in the evenings because I don't want to be up late because I like sleep. These are all the things I'm like. I just like sleep. Sleep and that really is the best friend. The best friend is sleep. But anyway, so that will explain why I had to take you back to bring you back to the present of why I went to sleep so early the next day. Because I was tired from the night before. The driving and everything else, it was a lot. But anyway, so then Thursday came. She's exhausted now, right? Because she went to this wedding and the night before she did not sleep well because, oh, let's not forget she has a child, right? Right. So, she didn't sleep well because when we got back from the restaurant on Friday, the baby was already asleep. And so because the baby was already asleep, once we started doing our thing, hanging out, about the time she went to like go to bed, guess who was awake? Her baby. So she did not sleep well at all. And then the next day, you know, she had a sitter to watch her child while she went to this wedding. And it was just like her in-laws who watch her kids. It wasn't that big of a deal. Her in-laws don't live that far away because her husband is from the area. So easy peasy, right? And so the next day, and she stayed the night at the in-laws because in-law wasn't, I guess the wedding wasn't that far away from where, you know, her in-laws are at, so she didn't have to go too far. And then she went and got her car in the morning and then drove back. And so she got sleep, but for those who know, if you drink and go to sleep, but like you're not, if you're slightly buzzed or drunk and you go to sleep, that's not good sleep. It's actually trash sleep because you're sleeping off alcohol and then now you need to sleep actually. So therefore she did not get good sleep. I actually, on the other hand, did. So Sunday was kind of an interesting day. And then her husband comes back on Sunday. So I was able to see him, which was awesome because he is super dope and super cool. And I think we'll call him Ken, because I think Lisa Vanderpump's husband's name is Ken. So we're going to stick with the theme of Lisa Vanderpump. I don't know, because I'm not going to call them by the real names. But anyway, so Ken comes back. Ken has been out with his boys all weekend, so guess who's exhausted? He is, because he's just been turning up the whole weekend. And Lisa is all kinds of happy to finally see Ken, because she's like, okay, get help with our baby now. So Sunday was kind of a chill day where we didn't do much. We watched football. I did not know until that day how much Lisa's into football. I was like, whoa. And the night before, she didn't realize how much I was into wrestling. So it was like, it was funny because it was like we were learning so much about each other, even though we know each other for freaking ever. I was like, wow, new developments. We're both just like, new developments. So she's into fantasy football and everything. And I'm just like, yo, that's just so much use of time that I don't have the time for. On a Sunday, I just can't imagine doing all that when there's so much other things you could be doing. So I was like, I respect it, I guess. I was confused. I was just like, girl. She was into it. It was cracking me up. I was tickled. I was very, very tickled. But anyway, it was a good time. And then we ended up getting sushi. And that's where you saw the sushi in the video. So that was actually kind of what concluded my time hanging out with them. And then the next day is when I did my thing where you saw me going to like the nature areas, hiking and stuff. I thought I was gonna have time to do more of that, but frankly, there just wasn't enough time. And also, the priority was to see my nephew, because I already planned that ahead of time. I wanted to see my nephew and get caught up with him, and then see my best friend Lisa and her husband Ken. I just wanted to see them. So that was very much something that was priority. So that's why it wasn't as much of a solo dolo trip as what I've done in the past. Like the Vegas trip was probably the most on brand. That's actually more on brand of how my solo trips typically go. But but there's a difference there. I didn't go to Vegas to see anyone. So I was gonna do a whole bunch of just venturing off, doing my own thing. I try not to do that if I'm there to see people, or if I'm actually staying at someone's house, because I find that extremely rude. I wouldn't do that. And so yeah. But anyway, so that actually concluded the vacation part of the trip. If you want to see what else happened after I went and saw my friend and what I did, I do have a vacation vlog out there for that. So definitely check that out. I'll put that link somewhere here. I'll actually put it at the end of the video where you can just click to it afterwards. So anyway, yeah, that concludes that portion of the video. Child, the way I didn't realize until I was editing this video that I never did put an outro or really conclude the video. I think it was because originally I was going to make it where it was one giant video versus dividing it up. Anyway, that does conclude the video though. Please like, comment, subscribe to the channel if you get anything out of the content. It's your girl Sharon, aka the Melanin Nostalgic Runner. And yeah, don't mind my hair. I'm actually doing it today, so that'll be another thing. And I have my work glasses on because I'm doing my 9-to-5 deal. But anyway, please like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you next time. Bye.